Hello, hello, hello. Are we live? Hopefully we're live. Coming at ya. See how it goes. I did not prepare. We'll see if I am live. I think sorry, it says E-up. Okay, can you hear me? Hopefully you can hear me. I forgot to put an underscore in the URL over here, so it didn't go to the right channel. Okay, that makes more sense. Ooh, recursion. Okay, don't need to be loading that. I can open up Creator Dashboard in case I need to lock it down or something. And should be good to go from here. Sorry, it says, I accidentally paused the stream, but now I can hear you. It's just one of those days, man, because you know what I did? I went... I went to click start streaming, and then I looked over, and it said I was recording. And I accidentally clicked start recording instead of start streaming for a good 10 seconds. I did an intro, and then I looked over, and I was like, uh-oh, that's not green. What's going on? But yeah, it's just one of those days. It's just one of those days, you know? Is the chat on the right readable at all? Should I get rid of the line numbers? That's probably one of the smart things to do. Look at us. Surviving and thriving. The chat is readable, yeah. Legendary. I can make it bigger if need be. I figure stuff on the right over there really isn't in the way for most of what I'm going to be doing, I don't think. At least today. Most days I do have like the compile output over there. Okie doke. You know what? We're just going to get right into it. We're going to go into programming, Streama 2023, and we're actually going to make a new directory, which is going to be idle game. Nix Craig, what's up? How's it going? Sorry, thank you all so much for tuning in. Nix Craig says, oh no, Lens. What have I done? What did I do? Sorry, says merge time? Eyes. Not, okay, I will do that today, but not on stream. But yes, merge time very much so. I'm going to make a new directory, idle game. And we're just gonna start from here. I think I'm going to make life easy on myself and steal a file from let's just go with from the compiler. We're going to steal the CMake file. We're just going to start with this. Nix Craig says, what haven't you done? MouseSX says, from scratch you say. Hey guys, how's it going, MouseSX? What is up? I'm not sure you want to start with that CMake file. It's true, I should probably pick a better one, but I don't honestly know about one. Okay. I can't, it's a rough morning. This is the only place I could think of. Like, where do I even have CMake? Oh, probably the light one would be a good one. It's pretty simple, luckily. I don't think I need any of this. We can keep this. I don't think it really matters, right? This is fine. Carbonara says hi. MouseSX says fine. I'm on my trimestral neovim. What is that? Trimestral neovim week, so I can keep wasting time. Configuring editors instead of working Kappa. Your name is it's it's nothing. What is this? Oh, it's part of the same line. I'm just an idiot. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm figuring new stuff out. Oh. So it says, did you just delete all the compiler warnings? Did I? What did I? Okay, what? I wanted to delete this. I saw that and I figured I didn't need any of it. Do I need this stuff? I don't think, yeah. I think this is kind of specific to the compiler. I would say. I don't think we're going to run into those. Or these. I mean, that's fine. Cool. Did I ruin it? What did I do? I think I did okay. And then I can just get rid of those as well. I'm going to keep no comment. Don't worry about this. It's just some mild, yeah, we'll keep that. Why not? Why not? We'll keep it all. Everything else is fine. This is fine. There's so much. CMake is easy, I promise. We don't need to link with libm. We don't have a format check plugin. We don't have this many files. We have none, in fact. And this is, I'm just going to call it idle. I don't really know what else to call it right now. Native opt. Cool. Clang plugin. No. No, I don't know why I sounded so sad. No. Okay, MouseSX says quarterly, my French leaked, sorry. Okay, I'm on my quarterly NeoVim week. Is that your 4th? Or your 12th? Like quarterly of the year? I don't know, I'm bad. So I keep wasting time configuring editors instead of working, Capo. I definitely get that life. I get that life. Okay. Add executable idle main.c include directories dot. This is all simple enough. I feel like we can condense a lot of it. Then there's a bunch of flags. Okay, then there's the A68G stuff. We don't need that. Because I don't think we're going to need tests for this. Do we really need... like, we don't really need C11 for this. Everything else looks fine. Carbonara says, how can I sub to your channel? I don't see the sub button. And then an emoji, the classic something Emacs can't display on Windows. At least for me, I can't get it to work. I had to write my own mode to insert custom images for Twitchy modes. There is no sub button. There is a donate button if you go to the About section, Carbonara, if you're looking to support the channel in that way. There's also links in the videos that feature Sir Aid with ways to support him if you also like him as a developer and like the stuff that he does, like I do. Although I haven't supported him yet. You should, though, and I'm going to. There was a first-time chat. Was that Carbonara? That was Carbonara. Okay, had to check. Doop. But yeah, there is a donate link. You can leave a message with your name and a note, and I will read it on stream if it's appropriate as such, and shout you out if you give your name, or just anonymous if you don't give a username in the message. Anyway, that's enough from me. That would be a great appreciation. Straight says, what, you're not going to use Algol for this project? Shaking my head. Not this one, not this one. MouseSX says once every 3 months. I see. Yeah, so that's quarterly. That's quarterly. That's so 12 weeks. But to say you're on your quarterly week would be like, I don't know. Oh, like you use Vim every 3 months and you use it for a week? That would make sense. Okay, let's start writing main.c. Nix Craig says, you don't want to include itself? That just seems like infinite recursion. This is in CMake, so this is not equivalent to a like hashtag include or anything. I don't even remember where it is. Here. So this actually refers to this directory, right? Dot in this directory, which is idle game. And then that means that if we write any headers that happen to be in here, like main.h or idle.h or whatever, they can automatically be found by the compiler. Mouse6 says exactly that. That makes a lot of sense. Sraid says, if you're inserting images manually, you could maybe just clone Twimoji or something and insert emojis as images manually. I definitely could do that, but that's a lot of work. I don't even have eyes done yet. That's on the list. I have Hey Guys, Pog, and Poggers. I think I have a few Pepe. I can't remember. There's a list of them somewhere. Yeah, here. I had to load it. Here's the list of ones that'll show up in the Emacs chat on screen. Go nuts. Anyway, where am I at? I am at a pretty basic C file that I'd like to get compiling. Whoa, Emacs, why? Why did I tell you to do this? So it says, you don't have eyes? No, how am I supposed to express myself now? I can't communicate without that one. Luckily, it shows up rather well in text, so I can tell what you mean. I can picture it in my head. I'll do the inline image replacement. I wrote a software program and it runs in my head. So it's all good. Nix Craig says, oh right, isn't there a flake function for telling it to use a CMake list from another directory too? I don't know what flake function means, but there's definitely add subdirectory, which means you can just use that other one. Nix Craig says, what if I don't like him, Kappa? Lamau. Hello, chat. Looks good enough to me. That's not where the /n goes. Okay. Where are we at? I basically have to go here. And where am I? Perfect. Oh, PogChamp. Can we get PogChamps in the chat? There was just a donation. The first one since October. It's an anonymous donation. There was no message given and no name given. I didn't do PogChamp. I just did Pog. I forgot. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love how terrible it is. MouseSX says apparently you can use things like set font t, symbol, font spec, family, noto, color, emoji, nil, prepend to use an emoji font to replace tofus. Extra points if you avow the S expression from the ERC buffer. I probably could, but Carbonara says, sorry guys, I have to go. No, Carbonara. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. We're just about to make our first build. I've built so much stuff. It's a mess. My autocomplete is like, are you doing this complicated thing? Carbonara says, but thank you, Lens, for all your efforts. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, this is good. I left a bunch of funk. There's a bunch of funk I left in the... I'm such a child. Okay. This is easy. Emacs for the win. I could probably like use multiple cursors to make this really easy. I can't believe we had a donation so early. Tofus equals the squares with extra numbers in them that replace emojis. I don't know if that was clear. I did not know that. That's awesome. Have you decided on a name for the compiler yet, by the way? Eyes. Oh no. Sweat is beating up on my forehead. Regional indicator F. It's press F. It's press F. It's the Twitch one. It's the Twitch one. Here, this one. A. I think that's Frankerface Z. A. Legendary. That's better. Beautiful stuff. Hello, chat. We did it. We can write C programs. Did you know that? Oh, the tofu. What is it? Death char. This is gonna mess with mess with things a little bit. What is it? Tell me the name, which means word, strong left to right, negative squared Latin capital letter B. I don't know what that would even look like. What is that? Negative squared Latin capital letter B. Lamau. Oh, okay. This makes more sense. So here's OBS. It's just a B. I don't have it, apparently. I have the 10 that I showed you. Okay, let's make this do something like that an idle game would do. Yeah. Include the standard int so that we can get size t, a reasonable integer type that is unsigned. Standard IO, just we can do printf. Now, we're also gonna need to include time t. Time. And this is our idle state. And I think that's kind of all we need. This may happen very fast. So we have like some state, right? And we should probably zero initialize it to have a good time. Sraid says, what were idle games again? I forgot. You don't do anything. You just, doing nothing makes progress in the game. You literally just come back, check on it, buy upgrades, go away, make more points. It's fairly simple. Oh, like Cookie Clicker, right. Well, yeah. Yeah, exactly like Cookie Clicker. That's good enough for us. Some other stuff we may want to store in the state. I was just thinking about optional CRC of state to ensure it hasn't been altered. Yeah? And I know that's a little broken, but it means that you can't just go in and change the bytes and it works. You have to calculate a whole new thing. What if programming is an idle game? Doing nothing definitely doesn't make progress. That's a for sure there. I just want to shout out again the $5 donation. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And it's been a long time. It's great to have another donation. I'm not crying. You're crying. Oh my God. Another $5 donation. No. Hopefully it wasn't because of what I said. Hopefully there's a delay. Oh, this is so sad. Sorry, but before I just forgot to put the name. Carborna. It was Carborna. I'm sorry. It was Carbonara. Thank you so much, Carbonara. They already said they ducked out, but when you see this in the VOD, just know that you're appreciated, and we appreciate having you around. Thanks for the support. Carbonara. This guy. Not Carborna. Oh, I'm an idiot. Nix Craig says, like RuneScape, but with less steps. Exactly. Strage says, just leave it alone for a while, and the bugs will pile up on their own. That's true. It's kind of the opposite of an idle game. No matter what you do, you don't make progress. Oh man, I gotta actually do something. Okay. We're gonna have to try and open a file, and in like binary mode because we want to read data, and it's going to have like some path, save path. And this is just going to be save.bin for now. Why not? Yeah. If not F, no save exists, create one. Otherwise, return 0. Otherwise, save exists, compare times, increment points. That's probably as complicated as it gets. Also, sorry, it's off the screen a little bit. I forgot. That's better. Sorry, it says, ah yes, good old Fopen. With the crossed out. So good. Nix Craig says, end curses when? No, we're going to do it from scratch, but. Is it Ayush says, hi! What's up, Is it Ayush? How's it going? Thank you so much. Okay. PayPal has 18 notifications for one transaction. I gotta turn my ringer off. Where's the ringer? I don't want to make it buzz because, well, I do want to make it buzz. And I'll put it in my pocket, not on the desk, like a genius. Is it Ayush says, I missed those streams. Which streams? These ones? Or those ones? No save exists, create one. Okay, so we basically have to use fwrite with some initialized state. Hopefully it's state, and this is going to be size of state. And then we want to write that to f. So here's, we're probably going to want to do this. Because we need to open it for writing now. Whoops. There we go. Write binary for me, please. Open this file at save path, write the state to it, close the file, and get out of there. And close the file after. Okay, so this is going to be read save into state from file. Okay, so this is going to need fread. We're going to be reading into the state 1 byte at a time, which is the size of state from f, because it passed this check. And we can close it. And hopefully state should now have what we need. AKA, I can turn on egglet. Yeah, sure, reconnect. Why didn't it? Oh, I don't have company on. That's what it is. Emacs moment. Emacs moment. You probably want to put this in an else branch. Otherwise, you're trying to read from the file after just closing it. There's a return here. We're good. We're good. Read save into state from file. One thing we do need to do is initialize state with something other than zeros. So there's going to be no save exists, create one, initialize state, write default state to file. And what's the initial state going to be? I'm just looking at the struct here. I'm thinking it's going to be, so you have to run it twice if there is no save, I see. Yeah, this program is going to be like you run it, and that's part of your idle game. Like, you just run it, and then it tells you how many points you gained, and then that's it. That's the idea right now. We'll make it better. What if I run this in a read-only directory? Don't. It's a game. Games generally don't work well in read-only directories. Games that need to save state. You can always make a fork when I put it on GitHub under the MIT license and do whatever you want with it. Initialize state. Basically, state.points. I don't know what I'm typing. Oh, I'm in the wrong layer. Okay. I got it. We're good. And state.point should probably equal 0, but that's already handled. So we really just have to handle state.time, and that's going to equal time null, which gets us now. Initialize state with the current time. Isidiyush says, I wrote a simple bash game in terminal. That was the first time I wrote a program. Not like this. Oh, I gotta add not like this. That's a good one. I wrote an IRC about in bash, IRC agent. That is gross. Nix Craig says XDG data home. Lamau. I mean, it'd be pretty easy to insert like a get in. You know what I mean? And we could do like if def Nix Craig. Do you really want this in the code? We can do it. Okay. What are we doing? We initialize the state with the current time. Okay. So we create the state. We should probably tell the user what happened instead of just exiting. So tell the user what the fuck just happened. They probably want to know. And we're basically just going to say new save game created. And again, to redeem points while idle. Looks good to me. Make it a little fancy. We could add colors to that eventually. Make it blinking and bold. Nix Craig says bot, phone autocorrect, not like this. I see, you wrote an IRC bot. That sounds horrifying. So now that we have state, I think what we're going to be interested in is the current time again. And then, oh no. Does anybody remember how to compare times? I know you can just subtract them on most platforms, but that's not like supported. So is there like a way to get the difference in seconds between two, subtract them, their numbers? On most platforms, they're numbers, but is there like a libc function to do that for me? Time t difference in seconds. Diff time. Okay, I'm interested. Return difference between two times as a double. I don't really like the double part of it, but I'll suffice. Return difference between two times. It's C. I'll deal with it. We have doubles. Equals diff time. Hopefully it doesn't matter what order they're in. Because it just says time 1, time 2. So it's just the difference in time. It should be an absolute value. And the other one is going to be the state time saved from the file. So we can compare these two and have a number in, okay, in seconds. We're good. I was like, oh. Is time even monotonic? Clueless. It doesn't really matter if it's monotonic. It just matters that we can get the difference in seconds. That's all I care about. Right? Now, okay, we probably want a new thing here, which is size t points per second. I'm just going to do this. And we can now name everything PPS from now on. That's beautiful. Nix Craig says, oh yes, I love to lose points, Keppa. Isidiyush says, can we make the .69 extension instead of .bin? See, it's these kind of iconic ideas why we love having you around, Isidiyush. These kind of mind-blowing 200 IQ plays that you put out there. It's like, what would we do without you here? Nix Craig, I love me some peepees. Oh God. What have I done? New points is going to equal the points per second of the state. I don't know why I keep thinking it's called S. multiplied by the difference in seconds. And if we want, we could make this like a double, but I don't think that's necessary. I think working with integers is going to be a better time for everybody. Okay, so we now have the amount of points to gain. Gained points. So if we just print this out and say points gained, blah. Maybe we'll do a little less. We'll do gained blah points. Okay, whoops. Didn't go all the way. When are you going to make points a big int, Kipo? That's a good question to do. Make points a big int or store a multiplier. Something to make it seem bigger. Get W. Oh, that's good. Oh, I wonder if we can even... Okay, this might break things. It didn't! Get W. Oh, that was good. Oh, okay. It worked. The thing I made worked. We can delete a file. Save.bin. Is it not here? Does it not exist? I never ran this, did I? Never. No, not yet. That's probably a good idea to run this. New save game created. Run again to redeem points while idle. So now we should have save.69, which is some random nonsense. Beautiful. And if we run it again, after waiting a few seconds, Saraid says 10 to the 300 should be enough, lol. I have played Cookie Clicker. Gain 0 points. Conversion from double to size t may change value. Ideally, this would stay a double through the multiplication. I don't think that really matters. We can truncate it. What has happened? Oh, you know what has happened? Is that points per second we didn't initialize. That's going to be a problem because we zero initialize everything. You're assigning a double to a size t. That's fine. That is fine. We just weren't setting this. The truncation is fine. Okay, so now I'm going to need to do the thing again. Now it should work. There we go. Gained 4 points. And if we wait a little longer, we gain 9 points. Beautiful stuff. That's good enough for me. And so what we need to do now is actually update state. That's going to be easy. Serialize state. Is that how you spell serialize, or is it with a Z? It's probably dependent on where you're from. It doesn't matter. Which is just going to be an F right to another thing that we need to open at the save path, writing binary. In the US, it's with a Z. Okay. Nix Craig says, now time to integrate with Twitch chat. Oh God. Please no. I already made the Emacs work. Please don't make me do it anymore. Everywhere else, pretty much, it's an S. Can you guys... Yeah, everything's fine. I'll go with an S. It looks better. Whatever's more common. F goes last as far as I know. We would like to save state. And that should serialize the state into the save path. So now all we have to do here is when we gain these points, actually update the state. So we're effectively keeping a copy of the current save state in memory, and then we're committing it to a file. And then we can just add gained points, and we should slowly have more and more points, but there's no way to know right now. So what would probably be a good idea is like idle print. And we're just going to print this thing. Yeah? There's no reason to make it static. It'll be fine. So we'll do an fprint and take in a file. Just for funsies, in case you want to put this somewhere else. And basically all we want to do is print out the points. Probably just all the members at this point. So we're going to need s.points, .points per second, and s.time. We can't print out a time. Is it string? It's something so simple. I always forget it. Is it time string? It's time C. Is it C time? Oh, it went crossed out. That's how you know it's right. And then I probably need a pointer. Okay, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Yes, more stuff. So we would like points per second. Let's do something like that. And then we're going to do like here. That's probably going to be annoying. And then time. Percentage S. Why? Oh, it needs a, okay. That may be important. Beautiful stuff. That should print it out. Now we should be able to use this when we could say new save game created. We could do an idle print on the state to standard out. Is that what I did? Idle print is defined right. Fprint. Thank you. Thank you. And that's looks correct. Okay. And then after we read the save state, probably want to tell them then. And then after we update it, probably want to tell them then as well. And we're probably going to want like that. Let's probably should go here. I'll get there. Don't worry. Okay, that looks... I don't know if we even need these. I think it'd look fine without them. I think that's fine. I think initially we could print a new line just for funsies. Separate everything a little bit. Don't do that. We're gaining a lot of points very fast, which is impressive. It's very impressive. So what have I done? Why do we get so many points? The difference in seconds times points per second. Points per second equals 1. It hasn't been 5 minutes. Oh, it's the same time. Interesting. How is this happening? Oh, we never update the time. That's how that's happening. That might be important after you add the points for taking up the time. So it's just taking up the amount of time from now until this time. It's never being updated. We have to say this. Oopsies. Probably do this all the way up here. Then kind of separate these two things. Beautiful. That makes more sense. Gained 6 points. Gained 1 point. Perfect. If I actually do it like this, then it won't be incorrect. Gained points 1. Gained points 8. I think that's fine. Okay, now look at us. We have a basic idle game. Right? Let's remove our save.69. Oh, man. Sorry, it says 1 point, shaking my head. Imagine not accounting for 1 when printing things. It's true. Build idle. So now we can see that we have 0 points. Now's the save time in the structure. And then there's a 1 points per second. And if we do it again, we gained 14 points. Hallelujah, everybody. We waited 14 seconds. Ain't that fun? Ain't that fun? Wow. Isn't you says, yay, finally something I can be good at. Nix Craig has a good question. How do I buy upgrades? Let's write it. I think basically all it's going to be is like get char. That's what we're going to do. To do could get fancy with like TermIOS or iCanon, I think. Isn't that what it is? Maybe even ncurses or input. This is fine for now. All this means is that we are going to need to here's what we'll do. All this means is that we'll need to press enter in order for it to actually work. This should be fine. It's trying to gaslight me. Okay. Don't need that. Default should be to continue. Get it again. That should be fine. Okay. Case B will be like buy upgrade or whatever. We'll implement this soon. The user is going to kind of need to know that. So we're going to print options. Sure. Then we're going to have B. I could make this like data driven eventually. Data driven with array / list of options or something. That'd be better. Otherwise, we're just going to continue this. Buy an upgrade to increase points per second to blah. Right? And then we're going to have a const size t cost to buy. Cost to upgrade PPS. Why not? And this is going to be state.points per second times 120 or whatever. This is good for now. Okay. And then do that. And then we'll do Q, which is exit, save and exit, do nothing. Seems good to me. And then we'll print a little space for the get char for the user to type. I think that makes sense. Okay. Now, when they buy an upgrade, we just need to take the cost to upgrade and subtract it from the points. And then there's a case if a user tries to buy an upgrade and they don't have enough points. So if state.points is less than cost to upgrade points per second, then we'll have to print you do not have enough points. We'll get rid of the U. We'll say not enough points to purchase upgrade. And then we could do like to do print cost balance. Oops, not and P, just and print cost and balance. Okay. And then break, which should break out of the default. Whereas the continue should continue this loop. Because switch doesn't have a continue, right? I would hope not. C, collect unclaimed points. Ooh, nice, an upgrade. I like that. I like it. We'll do it. collect unclaimed points. Shout out to Nixcraig for the awesome feature implemented. And we're basically going to have to run all of this portion again. We don't need to read save state into file, but we do need to kind of do this portion again. So maybe this should be called like idle update. Let's try it. Okay. So everywhere that it says state, we're going to need S. And then everywhere there's an S dot, should be good. Okay. We're going to need S arrow. And then we're going to need to dereference here. Look at that. Okay. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. It didn't actually do the updating because I forgot to, do that. That's just an old comment. We don't really need it anymore. And we read the save state, then we should do idle update. I think. That's better. Points 14, gain points since that was so long ago. We got 400 points. We now have, we're one off. And then if we do, we can buy an upgrade to increase points per second to 2. It doesn't say how much it costs, which might be important. We'll do a cost this way with again, should make this data driven. It's fine. There we go. I did it backwards. That's a classic. Yep. Straight up just did it backwards. I don't think I need to put cost. I think people will work out what it means. 120. So then we can do B, because we have 473 points. And it should exit. That's correct. And then we run it again. And we now have less points. So it looks like the purchase went through. We forgot to print anything if the purchase goes successfully. But it looks like we didn't actually upgrade anything. So we lost points, but didn't actually set the update, which is true. Look at that. So it says also I was gone for a second. What's the do while loop for? For invalid input. If they print something, if they type something that isn't this stuff, then I don't really know what to do with that. So I just tell you to do it again. We could print like invalid input here, but I feel like that'd get rather verbose if you start. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's just so we can get back up here and get another input from the user. All right. So it's just a go-to to before the get char call, I see. Yes, pretty much exactly. And then we can print out. Successfully increased. What did I do? Successfully increased points per second. To that. Beautiful stuff. And then we can maybe print the state. So now it costs to upgrade to 2. Successfully increased points per second to 2. Now I have 356, but points per second is 2. This is the new time. Run it again. Now we gain 28 points, even though there's a 14-second difference. So that's beautiful. It worked. And now it costs more to upgrade again. Zarias says while 0. That is correct, while 0. Still have to implement C. And probably want to re-enter the loop after that. Like that. We want to re-enter the kind of larger event loop. We'll get there. We'll separate it out soon. I'd just use a goto. By the way, do you know what do continue while 0 doesn't work, right? Oh, because we need a while 1, don't we? Then we just basically need a break there, if we're going to do that. Yeah, we should probably just use a goto or a function, honestly. So if we created a function that like handled user input and returned a Boolean value, and then if it returns 0, we just do it again, that's probably a better way to handle it. I'm just going to do that. Handle user input. We'll just use bool. Why not? Do while 1 is like chaotic neutral or something on my infinite loop alignment chart. Well, you know where I stand. Zarias was questioning while 0. Yeah, it was a bug, but basically it's just so that we can continue to get characters over and over from the user if we don't know what they did. So we want to return false. Switch C. This is basically just the switch statement down here that I can steal. Sure. Okay. Buy an upgrade. We're also going to need like a pointer to the state because we need to alter it. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? I think that makes sense. We can move the cost to upgrade calculation here eventually. Dun, dun, dun. That's all we got left. Go grab the cost to upgrade. Which we're also going to need to print. We could just print this whole thing every time. That's really not a big deal. Cool. I like it. Could probably call this like prompt user handle input, but it doesn't matter. We are not doing this for any long-term purposes. Also, I think line breaks are a bit scuffed in your ERC buffer, just saying. That's a good point. Does this fix it? That didn't really fix it that well. It just put wraparounds, and it's still kind of broken. There's just this random white space. I would agree. But I think that's part of Twitch and how they format their messages to a... there's probably a place here. Yeah, I don't know. It's acting very odd, I would agree. Wonder if I can do... See, it doesn't help. I feel like it's just the content that has a bunch of spaces in it and new lines. It is an interesting thing, though. I'd love to make it better. It's very, very scuffed, I would agree. Also, I gotta move this back. My bad. I can just cut off that edge, so you don't have to see the arrows if you don't want. And then I'll move it back into the corner. Ooh, how fun was that? What's chaotic evil? I'll post the alignment chart in general. Ooh. Discord stuffs. Also, guess what I never did? Woo! Made an announcement. Totally forgot. It's been a while. Hey. Chaotic good. Yay. That's me. So, case C, we would like to continue. In this case, it's kind of interesting because we would like to... So maybe we want to return an enum versus a bool. We're going to try it. Why not? You just do things, right? There's no reason not to do them. Invalid input. We're going to have... I could call it like user input. I don't really want a prefix. It's just, I'm going to do this. We're going to have invalid. Yeah. Maybe we'll start each one with input. Input invalid. Then we could have input handled. That's kind of going to clash with that, ain't it? So we're going to need a different naming scheme for one of these. Handled. I don't even know what to call this. Handled mode. Input handled status. That'd be good. That'd be good. Input resolved. Ooh, that's also a good one. Input handled. So I think we should have two input handleds. We should have input handled and exit, input handled and continue. Yeah? Because if we handle this, we kind of just want to re-enter this very same loop. Yeah? Re-enter handle user input loop. Exit program after saving state. Call again to get valid input. To hope for valid input. I'm figuring it out, don't worry. I'll get there. Okay, Zarias says, by the way, if I want to be a system engineer, what even is the prerequisites, assuming you finish comp eng? Or is it too broad? That one goes over my head. I don't know. I didn't go to like fancy school or anything. So I don't know what would be job requirements. You'd have to ask your employer. If you don't have an employer, then there are no requirements. So you're doing good. Carbonara, thank you so much for the follow. Totally missed it earlier. Input handle. I like input, sorry, recommended input result. I like that. Input result. Okay. We're just going to do it. That's not right. Okay, so we have an input result that we'd like to return. So I'd like to return input handled and exit for now. That's also the case in Q. Okay, that's fine. What you need. Format how you want. And continue. We may want this to continue as well, thinking about it. Zarias says copium. What did you do that made you get accepted in your first job, for example? I put in an application. I'm pretty sure, and then, you know, you go to the interview, you do the thing. Are you talking about programming and specifically? You didn't ask about programming. You just said your first job. Is it at McDonald's? Just go apply. They need people to work. Someone's got to do it. Yeah, like what things? In response to is it you should build things and apply. So that's probably a programming question. So anything. Right now I'm building an idle game for a terminal for funsies. You know what I mean? So instead of doing all this nonsense, handle user input with the state and get char. Then we're going to have an input result. And then we're going to say, I think it can be as simple as this. Yeah. And then we could serialize the state every time. That's probably a good idea. But we may just want to do it separately by like C. So when we handle C, we basically just want to do what again? We want to call idle update. And then we want to write, so maybe idle update should update the state. I don't know. So we want to write the state to the save path. We could just make another one. It's a little messy. It's a little messy, that's fine. Input handled, save and continue. Same as continue, but saves first. Alrighty. And then we're basically just going to have if, save, and continue. That one. Do thing. It's a mess. Don't worry about it. Hey, we got a lot of points. There's also nothing happening, which is a little worrying. Open up the task manager, make sure it's not eating memory. Well, it's not eating memory, so we're good. It's just an infinite loop. Zarias says, I said system engineer. I don't know what that is, to be honest. Izidiyush says, Zarias, find people who are system engineers and see what they're doing. You can help them and you could get a side door in the industry. McDonald's doesn't sound that bad, I guess. Well, the front door is messy right now in these times. Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Guess I'll check other people. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to help you get a job. I'm not necessarily good in that department. Terrific Table says, hello. What's up, Terrific Table? Thank you so much for tuning in. How's it going? We're making an idle game. So it doesn't seem to have printed out the options, which is slightly worrying. Oh, it's because we called getChar at the wrong time. So we need to call getChar after we print this. So what we should have is just like user input loop. Yeah. And this is printed in here. And then it handles user input with state, and which has to be a thing. And where we before kind of did all this stuff, yeah, we can now just call user input. And it should only return when we're good to go. Still going to need the save path. That's an interesting thing. Okay, for now, it really doesn't matter. We could, I mean, really, it could just be a string literal. It doesn't matter. It's here for now. Perfect. Beautiful stuff. Cost to upgrade, undeclared. Handle user input, undeclared. So cost to upgrade. Guess what? You got upgraded to global status as well. These could also be preprocessor definitions if you really wanted. So I guess we have to calculate this every time anyway. So why do where was it not used? Hold on. I was like, I'm a little confused then. You have it here. We don't have it in handle user input. RIP. This is why we need closures in C. Everything will be fine. Sorry, it's press F. Why did it not work? Hello? There it goes. I do have the right thing set, don't I? Yeah, it's set to refresh. I did my best. I think Emacs just got tired. So get a character for input and handle it. Result. If it's save and continue. And then this isn't going to work anymore. So we're just going to do forever. Why not? And say if results equals input handled and exit, break, probably just return. It's a one-liner. Is it huge? Says Emacs gave up. That's right. It's a workhorse. Okay. And why is handle user input not happy? It doesn't have cost to upgrade PPS. Well, luckily, we can calculate that. This might be better off being a function. That's probably what to do. And then we just have to say, that's pretty much what we're doing right now, right? Yep, that's pretty much what we're doing right now. And then we can just pass in the state to this idle PPS cost. No? Like that. Okay. Isidish says, I might just switch to Emacs soon. Whatever you feel like. Whatever makes sense. And whatever you have fun in. Because I have fun in Emacs. So we've done things here. Yeah. We need to do right state. Where else are we at? I think down here. Okay, we enter the user input loop. Print out our options, get a character until we get input handled and exit. Otherwise, just keep on going. what I can probably do is this. And that should have changed it, hopefully, everywhere. And then this can be input handled. Continue. Save and continue. I think that makes more sense. So, okie doke. Call again to hope for more invalid input. Continue, save and continue, or exit. Okay. I think that's cool with me. So now why is handle user input so mad? What did I do wrong? That? No? We have a pointer to the state, so that should be fine. GetChar returns a character. What is your problem? Conflicting types for handle user input. Is there two? Uh-huh. Conflicting types. Does it compile? Is this just freaking out? Doesn't compile. Implicit declaration. Oh, oh, this is C. I always, yeah. Order dependent functions are a thing. That's fun. That's better. That looks much better. Look, we're rich. I'm going to buy an upgrade. And it nearly worked. It nearly worked, didn't it? I just didn't print this out again. So interestingly enough, every time, yeah, okay, so this needs to go here. It's a little confusing, but I'm pretty sure this is the case. All this stuff needs to go in the loop. Because this outer loop is basically every time a valid input happens, or it'll return back to here as long as it's not an exit. Okay, I think that makes more sense. Okay, we have lots of points. Is this correct? Is it a use? It nearly worked. Lens 2023, Senior Fun Engineer. Well, that's better. It printed it out twice now, which is a little worrying. So let's think about this. Oh, I know what's going on now. If result equals input invalid, continue, because we just want to keep getting more stuff here. But we don't want to continue. We want to continue this inner loop. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Okay, let's think about this. So while we keep getting an invalid input, we want to continue. Otherwise, we want to break. And this, we also want to break out of this loop, which will continue this outer loop. And the only way to exit this loop is to return, which doesn't sound insane. Okay, yeah. I can see this going horribly wrong. Let's buy an upgrade. Okay, that went much better. Let's collect our unclaimed points. Okay, we got 45. That's pretty good. 15 seconds. You can see that it costs 600 to upgrade points per second to 6, which we can buy. And buy that, and buy that. Okay, now we can collect our unclaimed points. Interesting. So when you buy an upgrade, we kind of have to cash out all the current points. Otherwise, you'll make more money retroactively. When you buy, right, before we upgrade anything, we should probably do an idle update on the state. And that will cause all the current points to be flushed out. But then we're still going to need to, and this would mean we also need to update the state, the same thing as this. It's really seeming like idle update should just write the state and serialize it, you know? But that way every time it gets updated, it gets serialized as well. We'll think about it. Other than that, we're going to make us some easy. Idle state S. And this is, yeah, we're just going to have idle save. We're not even going to make it a parameter. Remember this thing? Welcome to idle save. Idle save. There we go. And this is going to be S. So I guess we only need a pointer to one. And then size pointer S. Okay. And then we could even probably put save path. I guess do we ever need save path? Idle save. Which state are we saving? This one. F right. So this is another save of state. Another save of state. How about that? Now there's only ever one F right. How nice. Which also means that we don't need save path. I guess we just need it here to be able to open it for reading. Good enough for me. Okay. So then we need to do idle save state. I think that's valid. So now we gained, awesome, 1,400 points. We can collect some unclaimed ones. Maybe buy an upgrade for almost 1,000 points now. Jeez. But now we have, so increase points to 9. Hopefully we updated the state. Which means that when we collect, so we gain 16 points here, but then when we increase the points, see that this didn't increase, which I'm a little worried about. State.time. Okay, time equals. So in idle update, we do update the state time to the current time. Probably also move that a little bit, make it a little more clear. How about that? How about that? Oop, totally forgot. Okay. Buy an upgrade to increase points per second to 10. Do it. Did that? Okay, hold on. I'm now understanding it. I just misunderstood the output. So when we do update, idle update, it prints out the state currently. So this is the updated state after we gained the points from updating it after buying it. It now makes sense to me. We gained 0 points, which is quite interesting. For 7 seconds, we gained 0 points. Interesting one there, isn't it? 7-second difference, 0 points gained. What have I done? What have I done wrong? Oh, I know what I did wrong. That's in order for a reason. I fixed it. Beautiful stuff. Collect. So now I need to wait. I can't afford it. I'm broke in my own game. So we can collect points, and then so maybe idle update printing things needs to change. Maybe that's fine. I think that'll be fine. Okay. Nearly enough to upgrade, still not there. Why is this being printed out? Where's this from? Oh, there's two. Naturally, there's two. Okay. So in the main input loop, if we print out the state, can we add an undocumented cheat code? We could. It'd be pretty easy, I think. What do we do? What do we do? So now that that prints out, I'm curious as to what the output looks like, because we also got rid of the others. So now we see gain points 520, blah, blah, blah. Collect points, gain points, blah, 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 options again. And then we can now afford an upgrade. So now we can buy an upgrade. And in buying an upgrade, it printed out a lot of things. We printed out gain points 140, successfully increased points per second to 11, and then, okay, so to increased, where is that? Here it is. Okay, we don't need to print here anymore. Or here. Okay. Oops. Okay. Gain point 77. We just need up to 1320 now. We're getting a lot of them. Every 5 seconds, we're getting 55. King Bun says, dang, Discord notifs did me dirty. That might have been me. I suck at sending those, me. 1361. We have enough to buy an upgrade. Up to 12. That's pretty pog. And then you can see the 5 seconds that it took me to decide to buy, we cash out, which we then, yeah, because we didn't have 96 more. We had 41. 41 plus 55 is 96. How beautiful. Gee, thanks, Steam. Anyway, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Collect our unclaimed points. We just got 400 while we're talking, because the points per second is 12 now. This is pretty good. I think this is at a good time to do an initial commit. Probably gonna have to do like get in it first of all. Meg's gonna be real confused. Create repository. Let's do this. And basically, in the beginning, there was darkness. What do we need? What do we need? We probably just want main.c and cmake lists. It's kind of all we need. Everything else is optional. So we can commit and say, make a mess. Do a thorn in there just for funsies. All the changes look fine. And that should be good to go. Now, what I need to do is go to GitHub and make a new repository and then add a new remote. Do it. Is this fine? I'm not gonna get like doxxed making a new repository, right? What should we call this? Idle C. Idle game codename Hamburger. I like the creativity. I like it. Oh, sorry if that was loud. King Bun says, nah, I'm actually in your GitHub now. Doxed. Oh no. We could go with GNU GPL v3 or MIT. What do you guys feel like? Is it a user says IP leaked? Oh no. Wait, what? That one works, right? It does. It does. MIT from Surraid and King Buns. Turns out they want to also they wanted free. Not like Libra free, but like free, as in money free. I think that's fine. What is the triggered emote? I think it's all caps. No, it's right. You had it right. I just it's not updating anymore. I think ERC is kind of freaking out because it's been open so long. I don't know if there's like a update that needs to happen, but or what I can do. Can I reset? I don't know. I could do like a /clear, but I don't know if that'll really reset ERC properly. I may just have to reconnect. Idle C. Perfect. Oh, we're gonna have to like do a whole rebase now because I included the license like an idiot. Well, let's do this. And what we're going to need to do is add a remote. So we need to press capital M, add. We'll just have the default origin. Need to get the URL. HTTPS, idle C, my namespace. Set push default, yes. Origin main, initial commit. Okay, now, how beautifully, we have a mess. Isdier says, I've never tried rebase, too scared. It's not a big deal. So, the naive person, you'll go, oh, I have unpushed changes, let me push them. And it'll say, hey buddy, you're an idiot. It says git pull before pushing again. So I have to do a git pull first from origin main. And what you'll notice, again, it doesn't work. Refusing to merge unrelated histories. This is so annoying. Git pull should just work, right? In this scenario, it should just work. But it doesn't. So what we're going to have to do is rebase our current local commits onto the commit that we need to pull. So I'm going to rebase interactively, which is kind of a fun thing to do. And what do I have to do? Is this what I have to do? Rebase interactively? Am I making stuff up? Pretty sure that's what I got to do. Rebase main. Okay, here it is. Rebase main onto origin main. That's pretty much exactly what I would like to do. Main refers to my local git commits, and origin main refers to the pushed one. So I'd like to rebase main onto origin main. So I'm going to press P. And now you can see that it's been rebased. There's no merge conflict, so nothing to solve. And now we can actually push our changes. And if we want to look at the commands that it actually ran, right? Because it's not scary, it's pretty simple. We ran git rebase autostash origin main. And autostash just creates a stash during the rebase so that if anything goes wrong, any of your like untracked files or stage changes will be saved in an auto stash. So you'll never actually lose anything by using maggot, which is one thing I love. But yeah, it's pretty simple. We couldn't pull because of unrelated histories, and we just solved that right up. Anyways, it now works. And it is now on GitHub. Does it work? What did I get wrong? Does it work on your system? It's 36% CMake. That's amazing. I don't think that's too bad. I think one thing we could add is like delete. We may just want to rely on the user to delete. We kind of expect that if they're at a terminal running an idle game, they can delete a file. That's fine. We may want to support like a -- help eventually. That may be something smart to do. Other than that, we're in a pretty good state right now, I'd say. We're doing pretty good. It's been refactored pretty well, where we kind of have a pretty clear control flow, even though it's confusing because user input always makes things confusing. And what if we could say cost to double points per second, right? What about that? Does this seem like something reasonable? What if we first let's work on scaling. How can we scale this number better? Isidayush says just a question mark. Now time for ads. King Buns. Now time for ads. That's amazing. Okay, so if we're thinking about this, now time to buy a domain. Yeah, definitely. It's ready. Ship it. I'm sure there's memory bugs everywhere. Interestingly enough, this means that it always takes 2 minutes, in case you haven't realized yet. Because you get this many points per second, if it takes 120 of those units, that means that that's effectively 120 seconds, which means that this becomes a 2-minute cost for it to get. Add a config YAML file, Pepe laugh. I mean, you're joking. That I may add a config file or a way to config it where it configures itself. So here's the thing. Always taking 2 minutes isn't really exciting. I feel like at first, the cost to upgrade PPS should be slowish and get faster quickly. Yeah? Then, at some point, it should begin getting slower again, diminishing returns, right? At some point, it should be ridiculously expensive. After that. Yeah? So how do we implement this in terms of our silly little game? First of all, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a function call. So we can get that done right away. And then go to the PPS cost function. King Bun says points per second squared, full send. So it would take 1 second at the beginning, and then 4 seconds, and then, oh man, that would be rough. Zarias is basically a normal distribution. That's what I'm kind of thinking about, kind of. But if you enter a binary file at exactly 3 a.m. in the morning of Friday the 13th, you'll get God mode. That's good. Yeah, basically a normal distribution. How do we do this? So we could clearly do like if s dot points per second is less than 10, right? Or is less than 4, then take 2 minutes. Otherwise, you know, we could do it all manually. I don't feel like that's the way to go. Diminishing return sounds like you want square root, maybe. So if we have the square root of... Is it used as log? Log might be a good one. Because a log function graph is kind of like... Okay, bear with me. A log graph is kind of like this, right? Where if we enter like a small number like 1 to 10, then maybe, and it depends on the base of the log. Is it used as yep? Nice, my memory is working. So early on, it doesn't really get faster quick until we get into here. And then at that point, it kind of just goes up. But maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good. We'll try it. I feel like that may be a good feeling. I thought a log graph was different. That looks exponential. That's exponential. You're right. Isn't log graph like the Nike? See, I always forget. It's like the Nike swoosh. Log is the opposite. Like it just does this, right? I just recommend Googling log x. Google and I'll plot it. Lamau. Oh man. It's a mess. Blomp. Desmos might not be a bad idea. Sure, I trust them. Why not? I like running a lot of JavaScript. That makes a lot of sense. So log of x, that's from 0 to 1. So I don't really want to convert it between 0 and 1. I don't really want to do that. Lens, there are 2 graphs. Yes. And? I see, this is what happens with larger inputs. I do see that. But it seems like it starts getting slower and slower. Maybe we just want the exponent. Maybe we just want the exponent scaling, right? That's the get faster quickly, but that's not the getting slower again. So maybe we'll have to do that at some point. And then ridiculously expensive. This is once again exponential. So maybe it's exponential with a little caveat in the middle. Yeah? Sine maybe? Well, sine would go positive and negative as it changes, wouldn't it? Just do like x to the 1.5. It's also doable. Absolute sine x then. So that would go between 0 and 1, but that would be somewhat random. I don't see it. I don't want it like going back and forth. I just want to do it once. That's a camel. What? What is like? What does that's a camel mean? Add simplex noise to absolute sine x. Absolute sine of x makes a camel. Ah, I see. All the humps, the upward humps. See, to me, that's an A-type amplifier. Oh, lot of points. Lot of points. So, but it's very little to upgrade. Is it uses we rich? So maybe this then gets multiplied 120. So this would be 120x squared plus 10. Is that crazy? That makes it 17,000. That means at least you'd have to wait like 20 minutes. But that I feel like that gets slow way too fast. What is x to the 1.5? Is that... Oh, man. Don't I have to do the square root or something? I don't even remember how to do this. Can I just multiply this? I feel like this is wrong, right? Or 1.3333333. So this isn't right. It doesn't seem right in my head. It doesn't feel like I'm doing the math right at all. And that's what I would guess. So maybe I still need to times it by 120. I mean, that's not bad. We'll have to try a new game and see how it goes. Maybe a polynomial like x to the x cubed plus x squared plus 10 minus 3x and just shift that over. That kind of sounds perfect. What is it? Okay, hold on. We're going to keep this. So this would be x to the 1.5. I mean, you do it first. So it would be 120 x to the 1.5 plus 9. And that is this. And then we also have x cubed plus x squared. I'll get there. Plus 9 minus 3x. I have so much trauma from algebra Bible. What does and just shift that over mean, by the way? Do I need to like get the absolute of it? I'd recommend plotting that to see what it looks like. Okay. Well, we're going to ask... did I close it? I didn't. Okay. There's a certain graphing calculator that I would like to look at. That's exactly what I want. Okay. Oh, I should have known because that's the shape of every cubed polynomial. See, it's all flooding back. It's all flooding back. So where does this happen? So when we're at... So we need to shift it over. So we need to add... So we need to add to the x. Right? No. How do we shift this over? Let me just try. See, that moves it up and down. That makes the amplitude of the middle bit different. It's curious. Okay, lots of things that can happen. Let's just simplify it as much as possible. I think plus 10 makes a lot of sense. So 1 would give us like 8.5, which means you have to wait 10 seconds at first. But that's not really what we want. Okay. You can grab it and drag it around maybe. Yeah, they're not... Desmos doesn't do that. I don't think. Can I like grab it? I don't think I can grab it. Not something I know how to do. My bad. Let's find all 3 roots. Oh no. Absolute. That certainly... I mean, that just gets rid of the negative. We kind of knew that. It just reverses it, right? That still does not move it to the right. How do we move this to the right? shift polynomial function positive x. We'll figure it out. We're going to figure it out. I don't know. Constant is your y-intercept. Add a constant. Move to the right would be plus 3x. What? What? I don't think it's a coefficient. No, plus c is up, down. Exactly. It's like we need to change x, which doesn't make any sense. We just want, okay. Can we not just add, because this is y, this is like f of x equals, right? F of x minus 10 is equal to this. Or something like this. We need a shift, don't we? Am I crazy? Y equals mx plus c. Be right back. Okay. You need to change multiple terms, I think. Okay. I mean, I can go crazy with them. It's still centered around 0. None of us remember how math works at all. Change negative 3x in positive 3x. That doesn't do anything. My guys, are you ready? C in y equals mx plus c is the offset from the base. That's how to get y a difference. And same with 3. Look, it doesn't do what you think it does, I promise. It doesn't move it to the right. Okay? This calculates the y value, right? You can say y equals this. But we need like y minus 10. Right? But we need like f of x minus 10 is equal to this, but it doesn't allow us to do that. I'm just not so smart is the problem. I don't remember geometry or algebra very well. Oh man. See what I mean? This doesn't help us. This does not help us. We tried. Substitute x minus 10 to the x value. What? Isidish says to tougher, we're be smarter. What does tougher, we're be smarter mean? X minus n to the third should shift n units right per Google. So it is, we do have to minus 10 from x, but just this x is what you're saying. Well, that nearly worked, but it's also changes the shape of it like crazy. Okay. We just lose all this game down here. Okay. It's really aggressive. Okay. What is this? That's at 100 and that's at 6. We don't want it to get, so I want it to start small. This is good. So at like 1, I need it to be positive, which is probably a important thing. Come on. Just need 1. Okay, well, this is interesting. So it's almost like we need this to, we probably need to change all of them. It's probably one of the major deals. It's really aggressive, made me laugh way too hard. I'm gonna try it. Because when in doubt, copy and paste things off of the internet. See, the problem here, can I like extend this leg out? How do I extend this leg out? Interesting. I want that to be relatively flat, but wider. I would like you to be wider. How do I make you... Oh, don't do that. I would like to make this... Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. I'm figuring things out. It's not getting wider, though. Gets smaller, which is not ideal. Well, that's pretty wide. We're getting closer, boys. So this is at 2, and then it'd start getting cheaper, and then all the way up to 10, in which case it'd get crazy expensive. I want this, but like flattened. Yep, not that. Once again. Can I put the whole thing over something? This is looking better. It's not perfect, but it's looking better. I still want to stretch it out more. Oh, this is good. This is good. If you want to move right, change x minus 10 and x minus 20 and so on. Thanks. Thank you. That actually helps a lot. I'm still for POW 1.5 since it just starts at 0. It's probably a good idea. So this would mean it gets expensive and cheaper. We don't want that. We want it to start very cheap. Try this lens. I'll check it out. How am I going to program this? It's just 0 to 1. What do you mean go down? Oh man, what have you done to me? Okay, make that very wide. The other x, that one. That's not a function anymore. This is cool, but there are definitely is no way I'm going to be able to like program this. I can program the other stuff, which is why it helps. I could probably never write something that would do anything here. That is how it would look though. Akepa Music says, yo! What's up, Akepa Music? How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. What is here? Lawful Evil Loop is hilarious. Loop. Forever. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I agree. This is probably the one to go for. This one's slightly complicated, but it is what we want. If that makes sense. To do. This is not exactly ideal, but it's simple enough and works. Akepa Music says, doing well, have some interviews tomorrow, so taking a break from DS and algo study. Isidiush says, so these are Bezier curves value, I guess. Bezier curve values, I guess. Yeah, that'd be a little rough. let us run things again. What do we got? Here, let me try and do something like this. Maybe that'll be nice. Ooh, I definitely messed up there. I don't know how the cursor ended up here, but the cursor is now here. I'm just gonna quit. Oh. Lucas Almeida 26 says, "Hey, how are you going, man? Good to see ya." I'm going good. I'm going good. It looks like we have lots of points. We can increase to 13 and 14. And now at 14, so you know what would really be interesting is what's the time? This would take 120 seconds times this to the 1.5. So it would always be greater than 2 minutes because this is kind of the base. So if we had something that went negative, it wouldn't work well because we want to multiply it. Okay. Good to think about. Good to think about. Anyway, we can make some more cash, gain 500 points. If we do some math, 14, how many do we need? 11,000. So if we just divide, is that what it was? 11,679 by 14. That should get us the amount of seconds. It was 769. That gets us 840, which if we then divide by 60, gets us 14. So that would be a 14 minutes. A full 14 minutes. So maybe times 60 would be the way to go. Because the scaling will help it get larger as it gets, well, larger. See, now it's much less. Which means that the first upgrade will be like a minute. Okay, good to think about. Let's add a new thing. Actually, let's see if we can commit this. Sure. Update algorithm to calculate upgrade cost. It's an update to the upgrade system. And that's available for all of yous. Now let's add a new thing, which is A. Or ABC, why not? Collect one iteration of points manually. Earn points per second. Times. We could eventually add manual collection upgrades. That'd be a thing to add. Cool. Don't think like that's gonna go well here. Let's add it here. Anywhere where it works. This is such weird formatting. The tree sitter indenting is still not entirely there. So A, collect one iteration of points manually, earn points per second. Collect unclaimed points since last update. I don't know. I think collect unclaimed points is good enough. And then when we handle user input, case A, return input handled, save and continue. We would like to basically just say state points plus equals state points per second. And then return, right? Do we really need to do anything else? We don't update the time, so everything should be fine. So now we can do A. Did we get 14 points? Yes, we did. Okay, beautiful. Now we just need to upgrade, do that thing we talked about. Also where it says to do write state. What is this? So when we collect points, we don't write the state. It doesn't save. That's probably something good to do. Something like that. Why not? Beautiful. Still works. And looks good. Doing good, doing good. Let us think about, yeah, let's add that little second upgrade as well. Why not? Manual scale. Scaling factor applied to PPS when collecting points manually. Sure. And then we're going to have to basically make a new upgrade, which is going to be not B, but I don't know, M. Doesn't matter. And we're going to say we don't have to buy anything. Well, we are going to be buying something. Cost to upgrade manual. Manual. Successfully increased manual scaling factor. Manual point collection scaling factor. To bleh. Coolsies. Cost to upgrade manual. Now just have to go do that. In which case we're also going to have to calculate it. And we're just going to do something like what we had before, but also depending on points per second a little bit. So maybe this is what we want to do. So if this is 1, we're also going to need to initialize this. If this is 1 and this is 1, we'll get like, it depends on how that handles it, but if we get 0.5, it'll reduce to 0. So this will be 1 times 0 times 120, which is 0, which would be 9. So the initial cost would be 9. Maybe 10 would be a good one. And then if this is 2, well, what if this is 1 and this is like 2? And this would be 1, that'd be 2 minutes basic. Well, it depends on how fast we earn this. So maybe it should be the PPS cost with some multiplier. Hey, maybe clear screen on refresh / action so the directory isn't confusing. What? Clear screen on refresh action. You mean like here? Speaking of, my Emacs is not at the end anymore. There we go. Akepa Music says, I'm back. Where we at? By the way, or this is Saraid. My bad. Saraid, I'm back. Where we at? By the way, remember that to shift a function, right? You just now have to subtract from x, i.e. you replace x with x minus 3, for example. Nice. Akepa says, like each action, clear terminal so you can't see the past text. I see. We can. It'd be pretty easy. It'd just require resetting the terminal lines. It'd be like one code. Anyway, manual cost. Where are we at? We are at here. We have it working rather well. we decided just to use the basic one because it works. And the manual scaling, I added a way so that you can collect one iteration of points manually. And then I want to make a way to upgrade this to earn more. Yeah. So I'm working on that now. And then earn state points per second. State. Manual scale. Okie doke. And then And for the manual cost, I want it to scale on both points per second and the manual scale itself. So I figured this would be a good solution. Idle manual cost. And then that's cost to upgrade manual. And then we have manual scale. Okay. That's too many points. I definitely screwed something up. That is too many points, right? That's ridiculous. How did I do? And what did I do? What have I done? Gained points. So it's like points per second. Ah, I see what happened now. This changed, which means we got different values and everything messed up. Okay. We changed the save state structure. That's all. So now it should work. New save game created. Perfect. Points 3, PPS 1, time. Now we can collect one iteration of points manually, which earns us 0, because you know what I forgot to do? Is when we create a new save game, yep, we need to set the manual scale to 1. Probably important. Maybe should unlock this ability. We'll add it to do. Why not? Yeah? Not that one. This one. Beautiful stuff. And now I can earn a point just by typing A. So it's kind of cookie clicker like. And then at some point I can say I need 39 points. How do I have 39? I see, because points per second is, hold on. Points per second is 1. I think we want to like do this conversion here. Yeah. Henlo Wormnold says hello. Good name. How's it going? 50 points. Okay. Now it's 9 points, which I feel like is much more reasonable than 129, which means you're waiting like, what, 20 seconds? Unless you're doing manually, in which case it'll be faster. You can buy another upgrade, collect. See, when we bought the upgrade, we cashed out our current points. We got up to 4, but then our PPS went up to 3, and we waited 2 seconds. We got 6. Okay. Henlo Wormold says, great, love your streams. Thank you. Akepa Music says, such a good name. It really is. It really is. So your manually collected points is going to be equal to PPS until you can upgrade scale, which which I didn't actually add a button for, which is quite funny. Well, I did add the button for it, I just didn't add the proper help text. ACBM. I swear that wasn't on purpose. I swear. Gotta change this to I now for reasons. Increase points earned manually. How is there a better way to say this? I feel like this is worded horribly. Buy an upgrade to increase scaling factor on points earned manually. Lucas Almeida says, I just realized that Twitch chat is on your text editor, 5head stuff. It is. It's in its own Emacs window. Over here. Woot woot. I even wrote a custom mode so that it displays like emotes as inline images. How about that? Lucas Almeida, bog! Okay, what do I need to do? I don't really need to do that at all. I feel like it's quite clear what this is meant to do. Okay. M. So then when we handle M, it definitely is, okay, we're good. So now we should have ACBMQ. Can earn points. I like it. So, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a way to save and restore. Hey, Repegfrost, thanks for joining the Discord. Not sure if you're watching now, but shouts outs to yous. Panic. Lamau. What was I just talking about? Totally got distracted with the Discord thing. No clue. Honestly, no clue. What do we do? What has happened? Henlo Wormold says Repegfrost is me. Awesome. You have two cool names. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure there's like a terminal code save and restore cursor position terminal. Let's see. Sraid says, by the way, I wasn't really looking at the formula, so it took me a bit to notice, but a times a over 2 does not equal a to the 1.5. Oh yeah, I know. I said that when I wrote it. I said this is not how you put something to the to a fractional power, but I don't remember how, so this is what I'm going to do for now. You are correct. I could probably just use pow, but is this what it is? Is it literally just ESC7, ESC8? We'll get there. Single width, double width, conformance, controls, character set. Okay, here it is. It is just ESC7, ESC8. Without even an M. ESC7, ESC8. Okay, so I wonder if we can just do something like this. This isn't ideal. This is not ideal, I recognize. If we just do fprintf f /0337, let's save, right? And then we just need to, from then on, print /0338. Yeah? Is this correct? This seems not correct. Interesting case here. Interesting case here. It has... Okay. It didn't work at all. Good to know. When do I need to do this? It's probably just the wrong time. When do I need to restore it? Let's think about... I guess in the user input loop, that's why I thought it should probably go here, but it should probably just go here, where we do our first equals 0 equals 1. If first equals 0. In this, we basically just want to say wow. Do I have to save it every time? That didn't work at all. Is this not supported? You'd think it would be. What's the other way I could do it? I could do like a full reset. I don't think that's that handy. Anyone have experience with this? Anyone know how to save and restore terminal cursor? Cross-platform? I could do crazy stuff like this, I'm sure. Cursor up P's times. Our IIRC save restore is a bit scuffed because it's not well supported, but I could be wrong. F. Okay. F's in the chat. So what you're telling me is that I either need to keep track of how many lines I've printed, or I need to somehow do this another way. Anyone have any ideas? I mean, I could just reset the cursor the terminal entirely, but that feels a little messy. It would clear out all history. Random, but are you familiar with the obfuscated C contest? Seems like maybe up yours/people here alley. As far as I know, there is a way to query the current line and column. Print line containing cursor, normal line feed, underlined, blinking underline, resize, select line, status line, underline, the alternate screen buffer. Oh God, highlight tracking, delete lines, line feed, z-axis and dotted line vectors. Reverse line feed, that's VT52. Yeah, I don't got it. You can also just do relative movement, i.e. move up 5 lines because you know how many lines you're printing. Do I really? I don't think I know how many lines I'm printing. I want to do this. It'd be a mess. Either way, it'd be a real mess. Because idle fprint, if it's changed, oh man, then we need to go change that number down there. So if we know, like, okay, this is 3 lines. If we do idle update, That's another line, which doesn't have to be there, but it's kind of nice. This could happen. This could happen. So effectively, we just don't know. By the way, in case you missed it, I put the a to the 1.5 power formula in chat earlier. If you're interested. Earlier on, if you're interested. Eyes. I see. Yeah, so a to the power of 3 over 2, which is the square root of x to the third. Craziness. Cool. That. I don't know why it's not updating anymore. It'll get there. Okay, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? We're thinking about trying to make it update, but it's super difficult because terminals suck to work with. It's really crazy how they don't, you know, reliably work. Keep track of lines printed. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. That doesn't sound like good either. I can't just like put the cursor in the top left. Okay. That's not helpful. I got no ideas. Burnt tortilla chip. What? You can also use the alternative terminal or whatever it's called. What is that? Just wrap printf and count the line breaks in the format string. Or something low. That's horrible. No. Because it's not all one format string. It's printing all over the place. Editors like Vim clear the terminal and reset it on exit. How do we do that? That'd be great. Erase in display. Erase saved lines. What is saved lines? Save cursor as index. Maybe disable. Okay, whatever. You can toggle to a second term buffer, use that, and then reset the original one. Yes. Use alternate screen buffer. Do that. The alternate screen buffer. Sure. How? There's no escape code here. How do I use it? Okay. Christ. Ah, yes, very helpful. What is this? PS equals 1047. PS for what? There's PS. There's PM here, but then it says PS equals. What does PS matter? Is this a bug? This is PS. This is just a bug. These should be PS. This doesn't make any sense. Is that a literal M I have to type? So many questions. This may be disabled. Why is there so many? So CSI, control sequence indicator. Oh, am I just an idiot and need a bracket? That would be really funny if I just forgot a bracket. I don't think I need a one because it just said escape then one. I'm gonna try. Okay, had to try. You can see it did something. So a CSI is a control sequence indicator, which is an escape bracket. And then we have apparently 47H. Like this. And this should use the alternate buffer or whatever. Sure. And then from then on, we should just be able to clear the terminal, which we'll get to. Which is going to be what? What's clear? Okay. Tab clear. Okay. Clear LEDs. Not what I need. This is beautiful stuff. Is it called reset? You need to switch back to the original buffer on exit. Okay. How do I change what's like in the alternate buffer? Do I just need ESC? That's probably what I need. This thing. So let's just enter. Yeah. So that'll do a full reset. This will enter thing. And then we need to exit thing. How do we exit thing? I know I can just write to it, but I still need to reset it and remove everything from it. Okay, read escape sequences will only affect the alt buffer until you switch back. Yep. Alternate. I don't see anything to switch back. There's use alternate screen buffer, but there's not unuse alternate screen buffer. Use normal screen buffer. Where is it? Okay, here it is. 47. What is that? L? CSI question mark 47L? What a mode. That thing should apparently make things work. Hey. It didn't reset. Yeah, going back didn't work. This doesn't work. Well, that's unfortunate. It just ditched it. So the only thing, switching the screen buffer never even worked. Did I screw this up? You probably want to use add exit for this in case you're calling exit anywhere. We're not calling exit anywhere. You're right, but it doesn't work. All that worked was the reset and this one. Nothing else worked. Question mark 47L? That's what this is, instead of 47L. 47H, where's that from? Two lines up. But you're saying what? So per 7, 2 lines up in the C code. Yeah, okay. This thing, 47H. Why? Okay. Alternate screen buffer. We're looking at this thing, right? There's no question mark. Is there? There is a question mark. Killer. I see. Is it? He says BRB. Let me grab some snacks. All right. We're not going to be streaming too much longer. I also have to eat at some point. Definitely didn't work. There's that. 24-hour confirmed. Use alternate screen buffer. Can we, do we have to like enable it first? So it's so dumb. Ah, yes, T-put. Why is there a 10 and a 49 here? I'm suspicious. So I need to do this. Ten four seven. Use normal screen buffer. 1049. Use normal screen buffer and restore cursor. Oh man. What did they? 1049 H and L. Switch to the alternate buffer. Switch to the. Okay. So what is this? 1049 H. This is confusing, man. Okay. Hello World says, I hopped in late. I have no idea what's going on. We're trying to make it so it upgrades. Well, hey, that might have worked. Hey, I think that one worked much better. It was 1049. Okay. Sorry, maybe your terminal doesn't support that. Vim definitely works. So I would say it does support it. But that is a possibility. That dock layout is wild. Dock layout. This? This is definitely wild, yeah. It's not helpful at all. It's made on the 80 characters max Linux idea, which is an idea. It's definitely an idea that you can have. Is it a good one? Who knows? Hey, that's a really cool card, Pyro. Very sweet. I like it. He actually just leaked his company's IP by doing that. There's this list, but I'm not sure it's better. Oh no. King Buns, out of all the ideas in the world, it is indeed one of them. Exactly. Hey, look, we made a silly game. I want better manual scaling for 190 points. I'm still not getting the proper amount of points. I probably didn't include it in manual cost, did I? That might be important. I mean, manual scale is here. How did we only... So, plus equals. Here it is. Here it is. Manual scale. There it is. Okay, that should be it. So now when I actually get 6 points. Okay, that's better. Beautiful. Collect unclaimed points. I also noticed that we kind of miss what happened last time. Is it possible to reset the terminal to the first row? Row? Why does it go to 13? Cursor character absolute column, default row 1. Cursor position, row column, default 1, 1. That's probably what I want, isn't it? Maybe I've mentioned this already, but I'd recommend doing the resetting in an add exit callback or something so it doesn't break if the user does Control C or something. That's a good idea. Let's definitely add that. We'll think about it. We'll think about it. So adding add exit. It's not going to be perfect. These should technically happen at the same time, but it doesn't matter. And then add exit just takes a void pointer, right? Restore normal buffer. Void IRC, yeah, okay. Good to know. And then should probably do if using alternate. Do thing. Should probably also say using alternate false. That's fine. We'll do this. It doesn't matter, but we'll do it just to make it a little more. Well, that's bad. We'll make it a little more clear. Okie doke. And then we just need to do add exit. I guess we could also just install the add exit here, couldn't we? Is it add exit? I don't remember. So we probably don't need using alternate. And we can just kind of have this be a one-time thing. Restore normal buffer. Why are you complaining? Oh, it's in standard lib. Where is it? That's where it is. Okay. It still worked. But it also didn't. I've got nothing. There's no history here. It like got rid of it. See what I mean? Shouldn't it have saved the history in the normal buffer instead of getting rid of it? I guess I could have like a screwed up terminal at this point because we've been messing with it. Whoops. Right click. Right click. Nope. Okay. Guess not. We'll do it again. Yeah, still no. Question I have is, okay, I do have history for scrolling, so this isn't the alternate buffer. I didn't just screw it up. It's somehow now resetting to like 0, 0, which is an interesting one. Because we should like save all this CMake output, right? And come back to it. I feel like that was working. But now I can't scroll. Nada. What have you done? That one didn't work either. What did I do? So maybe the full reset applies across. Well, it was working before, wasn't it? How did that happen? Because we should be able to full reset the alternate buffer. Akepa Music says, gotta go. Good luck and see you next time. Thank you so much. Be sure to check this out on GitHub. Run it yourself. What did I screw up? Saraid, were you watching? Did I do something really dumb? I did this before, and then I quit, and it would bring me back to like where the history is, but now there's nothing. Is it just because there's no history and it's working now? No, there's no history. Why no work? What did I do? It's like restore normal buffer broke thing somehow. That wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, it doesn't work either. I don't know why. What broke? What did I do? Did you copy the right line? 1049H? I'm pretty sure I did copy the right line. It's right here. Switch to alternate screen buffer. H. Looks good. Looks good. It no longer works. I mean, it does if I do this. So did I, maybe I didn't call reset? Oh, that's messy. That works. So it is just the call to reset. So how do I reset the absolute thing? Do I just need to set like the cursor position? In row column? CSI number semicolon number capital H. Number semicolon number capital H. Okay. Okay, I did it. Oh my. That's a mess. Or just 033H. Oh, interesting. Does that actually work? Well, that's a bit confusing. Kind of like that. That's fine. I don't know how that, yeah. So we're printing that now, but then we go move the cursor back and print this, which means that this stays from last iteration. That's kind of cool. That kind of worked out. I definitely have enough to buy some upgrades. Just gonna get a whole ton. Did I just gain points? I feel like I just spent points and gained money. Did that just happen? Not enough points to purchase upgrade. It didn't redraw. That's definitely an issue. We found an issue. See, that should return input handled continue. Very cool. Just like you can do 033M in lieu of 0330M. Nice. I'm not using backslashes, by the way, because I don't know if Twitch will let me do that. Yeah, who knows what Twitch will let you do these days. They crazy. So I don't have enough points to pay. And it says gained points, but not enough points to upgrade. So then, see, I don't want to just reset the cursor. This is what the real issue is. I want to clear the screen. So I want to clear from wherever the cursor is to a position. I feel like there's a way to do that. Erase above or erase below. I think just use erase below. CSI PSJ. CSI 0J. Reset cursor position to row column 1, 1. 033. Was it capital J? 0J. Reset. I guess we can technically do stuff like this as well, right? Erase below cursor. And this does mean we'll miss the whole gained thing. I know. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Beautiful stuff. So now when we say anything that we print after the prompt is pretty much useless. Right? So anything that we print in handle user input, we don't need to print. Which is kind of annoying because it printed useful information. So you know what we're going to do? This is a mess, and I don't recommend this, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to do erase above is what we're going to do. And erase above is 1, 1J. And I only want to erase above the cursor once I have moved cursor up 1 line. How do I move it up? Cup, 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 cup. Cursor up. Cube. That would be CSI A. Legendary. Erase above the cursor after moving it up 1 line, then reset its position. This should just keep the last line around. There's definitely better ways to structure the code to not do this horribleness, by the way. I can now afford an upgrade, which is kind of unideal. See, that's very interesting. I probably want to move it to the 0th column if that's a possibility. Move cursor up 1 line. And then to the 0th column with G. That didn't work. Damn. So I was hoping that we could like move before the first column, but it looks like we have to go up 2 lines, then to the end of the line. So that doesn't really work. Here's what we'll do. Move cursor backwards. This is a real mess. Probably should just use end cursors at this point. Ugh. Damn it. Why have thou forsaken me? Ah! S doesn't do anything. B. Why is it erasing N? So how is it erasing N? We move it up a line to the beginning column and then backwards. Like, how's it erasing N? Erase above cursor. You know what I mean? It's confusing how that happens. To me, it doesn't make any sense with all this happening. What is erase above cursor? It doesn't give any hints as to what that is. Okay. Erase to left in line. Yeah, I'd like you to not do that. Maybe a new line you're printing is erasing just the first character or something. I doubt it. Where would the new line come from after options? We're not printing anything. And then we just call get char. I don't know. I'm no expert when it comes to this. I don't think anybody is, because this sucks. Successfully increased points per second to 10. Oh, good. Successfully. And aimed points. You see it print 0, 0 there? This is a mess. The answer is don't do this. Just do erase. Erase it all, you know? Don't really think about it too hard. That's fine, you know? And really what we could do, right? To do print most recent status message if we really wanted, right? And then in here, this should like set the status message instead of doing this. You could also use colors instead, i.e. highlight the score in green if it changed or something. That's true. But when it comes to like not being able to purchase something, that becomes a little tough. We're just gonna do this. It's not good. This is bad. Status equals no. Probably shouldn't just name it status. Should probably do like status, idle status. Sure. And yep, we're gonna be doing this. It's not ideal, I would agree, but it's also not too bad. Successfully increased points per second. We're gonna lose a little bit of formatting. Who cares? If we really wanted, we could do like a buffer and use format like snprintf. That's totally fine as well if we want to do that. But I don't think it's really that important for this little simple game that I'll probably never touch again. Manual scale. Guess we have to decide if we want a period there or not. Alrighty. I think that's good for us. And then this can also do the same thing. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Gain points. And then this is not in the right spot. Okay, just about the worst way to do things, but it will work. Look at us making money. I wish there was a way to like clear the whole screen easier rather than like clearing above or below the cursor. Is there a way to do that? There's erase all. That may be what we want. Erase. Clear. Here it is. Erase. How did erase not find that? Whatever. Beautiful. Okay. Sarade says, highlight the cost and highlight the cost in red if it's too expensive. I see, I see. That's true. That's definitely doable. Akepa Music, Pabrunoster, Henlo Wormold. Thank you so much for the follows. I appreciate it so much. Let's get us some more. I don't like the flickering very much, but you know, there's probably much better ways to do this. And then if I say done, it's currently still printing nothing. And I can say if idle status printf %s idle status. Something like that. Sure. Gained points. Beautiful stuff. Let's make it even worse. Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Idle status max. How about that? There you go. Got there in the end. Gained points. Blah, blah. Gained points. By the way, I just remembered an issue with the compiler. I'm going to open an issue on GitHub for that. Awesome, Sarade. Love to see it. Love to see it. Why is it mad? Oh, it's a const. Definitely don't want that. And then we can just say idle status equals this thing. How about it? How about it? Print balance costs. 600 to percentage ZU. And then we're going to need just like that. Cool. And then that should be good. That should be good. Do the same thing here. And then increased blah. Okay, let's try that now. Gained points 2270. Gained points 30. Doesn't get reset all the time. So in what case should it get reset? After we print idle status, it should be reset to null. And that should help us not repeat so much. I'd say that's better. MouseSX says, are you using end curses or not even that? Nope, this is all completely from scratch. I can commit the changes and say, what have I done? Oh no, what have I done? I have done what? Also, are you using end curses or not even that? That's why it flashes on repaint, I guess. Probably that would be why. Oh, we're basically just going to say use alternate buffer in terminal. What else did we really do? Also add manual collection as well as ability to upgrade manual collection. I know you can't see this perfectly. It's fine. It's really not important. I think that's good enough. At least it's good enough for me. Push that. All right, everybody should be able to use that now. Feel free to. All you need is a C compiler, CMake if you want to make it easy on yourself, and that's about it. So I should probably do current, which is 120. Really, it's just 120 1.5x plus 9. That's what we have now. So if I did 120x to the 1.5 plus 9, that would actually look like... I might need math. How returns a double as well. Well, it'll be fine. And then this is going to be 1.5 plus 9. And let's try this one. That doesn't seem right. I don't think so. That's times 4. What did I do? Power, so this is x to the y, right? Do I need to be explicit? Still just says cost 40. That doesn't really make sense. How would this even be 31? I'm not going to think about it too hard. I'm just going to use this one. It's good enough. Oops, good enough. Beautiful stuff. Now we can buy 2 upgrades, get some more manual, and then we should be able to get B. Okay. For POW, you'd also have to link against libm on non-Windows systems. That's true. I think we're just gonna keep it for now. Seems good. It could definitely use some UI improvements where it doesn't flash anymore, which would mean that I just have to basically only update the parts that need updated, which wouldn't be too hard, I guess. If I want to keep it fixed, then for example, if I want to keep points always at the top, that may be a better idea. Then I can just store wherever this offset should be, and then just restore the cursor to there and print the numbers. You know what I mean? Rather than, or just print this whole thing after erasing this whole thing, if that makes sense. And maybe have a function that, like, what it would do is just basically assume that the cursor is at the beginning of one of these and then delete forward as much as it's about to print and then print that amount. And then it should work out pretty well as long as you place the cursor as it assumes. And then we could just have it anywhere technically. And then whenever we call that function, it would just replace the existing stuff there. The issues become like if the times are different lengths, then it's going to not delete all of it. But I guess if it only deletes as much as it's about to print, that wouldn't work. But if, yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough little UI problem. Overall, I'm happy with how it's going. We can sit here. We just got 1,000 points because we're doing so well. We're on our way to making 4,300. Which means we could probably do the points per second upgrade is the way to go. And then we can quit, open it back up. Everything's saved and works. So if I came back to this tomorrow, I'd get a whole bunch of points. And that's kind of the point. Pun intended. There it is. Took a while. I don't need math at H. Thank you, though. Yeah, just minor comments and stuff. Comments and stuff. Beautiful, beautiful. Alrighty, that's seeming like the natural end to the stream. Unless anybody has any questions or suggestions, we are on our ways out. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to stick around for the next few minutes while we get out of here, and then I'll wish you a great day. Oof. That was fun. I think that was a lot of fun. It's really not ideal in any sense, but I don't think that matters. I think it just shows how quickly you can get something up and running, like an idle game. And if you actually cared, right? If you didn't want to do like vertical slice, like I wanted to do here to get everything working as fast as possible, quote unquote working, then you actually could separate this idle, whole idle everything into its own, basically its own API and library. And then you could link with it from any program and display it in any amount of ways with OpenGL or SDL or the terminal or ncurses or etc. So that's probably a good idea. Sraid says, maybe you missed it, but should I do another review for the compiler since you said you were going to merge it? If you want, yeah, I'd go for it. I don't think, I'm not going to ask you to. I know you've already done so much. And I don't think I changed very much since the last review. To be honest. It was mostly just like writing error messages in certain cases, like, oh, we need to handle code gen of a string literal in a subscript operator, and like little specific things like that. I added specific error messages so that they're easy to both track down when they happen, and the tests that emit them also now fail properly, whereas they kind of failed ungracefully before. This is pretty good though. But yeah, just using time t, we're able to implement an idle game like that. And I think you could do this completely separate. So like all you'd have to do is like call idle read, and then read from a save file, and then idle update, idle save, you know what I mean? And you could get your loop down really well. And again, the actual game part of it could be extended infinitely, where it's like, maybe you should unlock this ability. Well, then you would have to have like only print out this line and this line when you're actually able, it's unlocked, you know what I mean? And then it's going to become more and more like that, which means that making these options data driven would definitely be the way to go, so that each option has like its own character, docstring, and function or callback or something that it can call with a known signature to handle things appropriately. Or we can just match chars and still have that same thing happen. But I think having everything in one spot would be better, where it's like you define the function to alter the state within the actual data. Suraid says, in that case, it's not going to take long then. It's true. We'll see how it goes. This should be going rather well. Let me add a little readme. That's something we can do in these end moments. If you want to be a dope person like Carbonara, aka Carborna, right? If you want to be that dope Carborna, that good viewer VIP-ness, right? Don't quote me on that. VIP-ness, relating to VIP. But yeah, thank you so much for that Carbonara, for the $10 in donations today. I very much appreciate it. And he said, sorry, I just forgot to put the name. Carborna. That's Carbonara. All right. Let's do a readme. I think I'm just going to do a we'll do .md. Why not? Why not? Let's spruce up our life a little bit. And we're just basically going to say the simplest, quickest idle game written in C, live on, let's just do it, Lenzer's channel. Written in C, live on Lenzer's channel in just over 3 hours. It's simple. It's easy. Relies on VT100 terminal escapes to build. How do I do this in Markdown? Shell. Okay, that's how I do it apparently. Jesus. I want shell, so I would like to, what should I do? Probably just do cmake -g, just -b build. cmake -build. That's really all you need to do. Then run the executable and follow the on-screen instructions. Enjoy. Okay. Am I missing something? Dependencies. What is that? Why is it a color? Markdown header face 2. Why is this a header? Wouldn't this be a header? Am I forgetting how headers work? Is it not stars? Is that org mode? I feel like that's markdown and org mode. I don't remember though. It is stars, right? Hash hash, not star star. It's hash. Thanks, man. Thanks. That makes a lot of sense. I could not remember. That's really good. That makes sense. I remember now. That's right, because it's like heading levels in HTML. Yeah, H. H1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, baby. Okay. AC compiler. We like GCC. CMake, optional. Cool. This is a link. Is this how I do this? CMake. Can I like write it by hand? Can I open link? I've never tried to use the org open link at point, not in org mode, but we're going to see what happens. It looks like I've currently bricked my Emacs, so hopefully it's doing something necessary. That's good. That's very good. Well, it came back, and nothing opened in a browser, but something happened, I'm sure. Download CMake here. Anyone remember Markdown links? It is CMake org download. I remembered. It's also org and not com. Just give me a link. Link. It's square brackets, parentheses. Okay. And is it, which way is it? Okay. It's the reasonable way. There we go. That makes more sense. Oh, now it does work. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Okay. A C compiler, we like GCC. Oh man, I never remember GCC. Does anybody? I don't think that's right. Yeah, it's not. What is it? This is a crazy search. I did not. Okay. That's the online docs. Wow. It's gcc.gnu.org. Classic. I can never remember. Beautiful stuff. So if I open this, it'll take me here. I could take it to installation. I don't think that's really needed. I'll just say, go here. We like them. Good to me. Okay, that's a little simple README. I think it's pretty easy to understand. Nothing crazy. And then we're just gonna say create README. I think that makes sense. I'm happy with that. I'm curious. I'm looking at it. I gotta look. I gotta look. Nothing yet. Okay. It's just the issue. Potentially incorrect code gen of variable reassignment. We typically don't want to emit the same expression twice, what with SSNA. However, if a variable declaration of the same variable reference is used twice, we need to omit the load twice because the variable's value may have changed in between. I'm not sure if this is really an issue, but we should probably add a test for that. Make a test that reassigns a variable a couple of times and see if it's correct. This may not be a problem in our implementation because we create a new varref node every time the variable name is used, but it's just something that came to mind and I want to mention. Beautiful. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry, it says my comments are not going to show up until I finish the review. Oh, that's right. That's right. I forget you use the review feature. I see the big green button and I click it. Yes. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And that's actually a good point that we may need to omit the same node more than once, the code for it. So this emitted check may not be correct. But I think overall, right now it'll work. Sorry, it says, unless you want me to post one comment at a time, haha. Honestly, I don't care. There's gonna be the same amount in the end. You know what I mean? I'd say it's more up to you. Like, do you want to deal with me responding to your first problem while you're writing the second one type of thing? Because I love doing stuff like that, where I'm jumping between like 4 different problems and having 3 different conversations about 2 of them. So we could use n curses as well, which may be a good idea eventually, if we wanted to do something like this that was actually cross-platform and supported well. Is n curses? That's not what I wanted. Where is it available? Here's a GitHub mirror. It's not ideal, but it'll work. It's GNU, all right. The libraries are those. Oh no. So this may not be very supported on Windows if it's a classic one. Shout out to RMS. So it says, I'm almost done, I think, lol. Awesome. Well, it's a perfect time. It's a perfect time. I think it is about that time that I should put goodbye here instead of hello. And yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody so much for watching. I had a great time. We made a little idle game, and it works. It works. Be sure to go to the GitHub, check that out. It's completely free and open source, Libre software. So feel free to do whatever you want with it and make your own versions. Be inspired, make your own games. If you make a game, send it to me in a comment or on GitHub or an email. I'd love to see what you guys make. It's always so interesting to see how the world churns like butter. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if the chat on the right-hand side of the screen is like something that should go away forever and you hate it, or if it's something that you don't mind, or if it's something that you'd like to see in the future, or if it should be smaller, the whole screen, etc. Just talking about it a little bit, this is the ERC in Emacs, which is a mode that allows for connecting to IRC servers, and then Twitch has an IRC API for connecting to their chat. So I've used their API and used my OAuth tokens to log in properly so I can even chat from Emacs in Twitch chat. Proper line breaks would help. I don't know what that's being caused by, to be honest. I mean, I can just... What's ERC truncate mode? I just turned that on. I don't know if it's going to help. Replace all the white space with one white space. What's truncate mode? I'm curious now. With a prefix argument, oh, okay, blah, 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 blah. Truncate a query buffer if it gets too large. That's definitely not what I need. Something. I don't know what it has to do with. Because it's seemingly just random, right? I wouldn't know. 89 characters there. So that would be 19 times 4. I'm too dumb. 76. So it's at a different offset every time. I don't know what's going on there. I think it may be trying to cause a new line on purpose. Is there an ERC length variable? There's split line length, 440. The maximum length of a single message. If a message exceeds a size, it is broken into multiple ones. You can limit here the maximum length of the hello part. Good luck. Okay. It doesn't look that helpful. Maybe inserting a new line where Twitch breaks the line. That would definitely it. Server line sent. Header line format. Input line position. Send white space lines. If set to non-nil, send lines consisting of only white space. Okay. So is there like an ERC display? There's no ERC display. Show nickname, channel key. There's no literal new line. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I have no idea what it is. Replacing new lines with a single space. I don't know how to do that. I could use like a hook because there are the ERC display hook, right? What is it? It's like the send and input. Yeah, insert. So if we did this, we could say this hook is called just after insert modify hook. All modifications from prior hook functions are done. So we basically would just have to run into this hook, a function that actually replaces new lines in it with spaces. So it's definitely doable. It's just going to take some work. Or there's something that I have on. Toggle truncate lines doesn't seem to help. I mean, it does, but it doesn't really help even with the new lines. It does make it line up properly, so maybe something is going on there with the, because it looks like it's trying to do a new line here past the name, which is quite interesting. What would it even be called? I don't know what the variable would be called. Break? It's not break. It's not split line length somehow. It seems like that's what it would be. Send input line function. Mode line away status format. Split line. No clue. It's fine. I think what Serade means is that it might be happening on Twitch side. Maybe. It just seems suspiciously like equal to the amount that a name is. You know what I mean? So it seems like ERC would be part of that. But it is very possible that this is just a new line sent by Twitch and that ERC displays it like this. Right? But yeah, you're right. It definitely could be that. Is if Twitch sends a new line and if this is how ERC prints a new line, then if we are using like a line wrapping mode, like visual line mode, then we're going to have this line wrapped, but then there's a new line, so it'll start a new line, which means that I would just have to have See what I mean? Like, it makes sense if I do it like this. But I would just like that not to happen. Like, I want that back there. I feel like that would make more sense, because then visual line mode could properly wrap things. Because when it's truncated, it makes sense. If that makes any sense. So the new line, if we have to think about that, we would basically have to, yeah, replace with a space or just remove all new lines from every message. Or have enough space before the new line happens, which means that Twitch automatically inserting them happens at some point, right? And it looks like it's based on words because it's not at the exact same offset every time. So it's kind of a mess, right? I'd have to skip like 20 words or whatever they do. Go to 70 and then skip a word forward, or who knows what their algorithm is for that. But I could just, like, if I wanted to make it super wide, it would never be a problem. Steak and nudes, oh no. But yeah, I'll have to figure out if that's something that's doable. Because I would love to be able to have line wrapping work a bit better without looking like this. At least I understand what's happening now, though. Anyways, thanks all so much for watching. Check out the YouTube, PayPal links. There's a donate in the About section. The YouTube, we almost have 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy. It's incredible. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I feel like I should do something special. And yeah, all my VODs go up there. So if you would like to check it out, go check it out. There's also the GitHub and Codeberg. Mouse's X says MX customize ERC modules. Have fun. Good night. Good night, MouseX. Thank you so much for hanging out. Saraid, thank you so much. I'm excited to get that review. Hello, Wormrold. Thank you so much. And yeah, I had a great time. Thanks all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hopefully we'll work on the compiler soon, by the way. Very soon.